everyone. I'm James Collins.
And I'm Christian Carlson.
And this is another great episode of Trident Outdoors. In case you missed last week's episode, I was down in Quail, Texas on a whitetail hunt with Sharp's Southern Safaris. We did a great job down there, but while I was gone, Christian was actually at home tending the trap line.
That's right, James.
Tell me a little bit about that, Christian.
I love muskrat trapping. That's where most people start. And I've tried canine trapping, and I fisher trapped and all that kind of stuff. But I love getting out into the bog and getting after those muskrats.
Awesome. Talk about some of the equipment, some of the gear, the process.
Absolutely.
And get me a little bit more up to speed. I've just started trapping in the past couple of years, guys, and Christian's kind of our local expert, so we usually refer most of these questions to him. So I'm really excited that he's going to get to share some of that information with you guys today.
So the great thing about muskrat trapping is you can start out with next to nothing. You can have knee boots or hip waders or take your canoe out, and the traps are really, really cost effective. My favorite trap for a muskrat is a 110 body grip trap, and it's these square frame traps. That the muskrat actually goes into, and the trap will close right around them.
And that's an instant kill trap.
Absolutely.
Right,
they just roll right over, and
Sure.
they are expired.
That's awesome. So when you set one of these traps, you have to tend it every day, is that correct, or every other day?
These body grip traps, you can actually check every 72 hours or every 3 days.
Okay, that's pretty great.
That's great. It allows you a lot of flexibility if you're not able to get out there because the weather is really bad, or if you've got to work or something has come up.
Well, that's really awesome. So when you catch one of those, the animal, the muskrat, is going to be laying right there. He's ready to go.
There.
Okay, and then you can set that trap up in the same place?
Absolutely.
Okay.
That's the other great thing about muskrat trapping, is they always use those same trails.
Okay.
And so when I make a catch, I remove the catch and then just set the trap right there again. You don't have to worry about scent or anything like that. They're using those trails in the mud. And you guys are going to see some great footage of the trails. They use the trails in the mud and right through the cattails all the time.
So that's really cool, Christian. But what if I want to catch more than one? I mean, I've had a lot of times where I'll set 2 or 3 of these traps in like a 10-foot span.
Sure.
And I'll come back and I'll have all 3 of them full.
Yeah.
And I know there's another 5 or 6 muskrats there. What are my options?
Sure. Well, you can do just like you said. You can set, a bunch of traps all in one row. One of my favorite things to do is use these colony traps.
Okay.
And these colony traps are much like a cage trap, except for they have to be set underwater all the time. But you're going to use these in those mud runs underwater. And it's just as clear as day when you're in the muskrat bog. You can see exactly where they're going. And so the idea is you put this colony trap where they're going to have to swim through, and they get hung up right here.
Okay.
And then you can stack them right up. I've put 5 or 6 muskrats in a trap, just a little bit bigger than this.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Just so you guys just so you're aware of that situation, 5 or 6 muskrats translates into a $50 bill.
Absolutely.
That's pretty awesome. Do you have to bait a trap like this, Christian, or with it just being in their way, is that going to be enough?
You want to put it right where you know that muskrat's going to be.
Okay.
So you're going to see his trail, and you're going to put that trap right exactly in his trail, and he's not going to go around it.
So if you have a trail that's a little bigger, I've seen some bigger colony traps as well. Are we legally able to funnel the muskrats into that a little bit? If you have, say you're down to 1 or 2 of these colony traps, or you're just starting out, and you've only got one this size, and you've got a trench that's 1.5 feet wide, is it okay to put a stake in either side of that to funnel them in a little bit?
Yeah, take a couple of sticks and put it on either side, so they have to be funneled right into the opening of that colony trap. You can also take a 7-inch by 7-inch trap. This one is actually 4 inches by 4 inches, so you have a little bit of leeway. You can make a nice wide trap as well. I like these just because they stack up nicely, or I can put a 5-inch trap over this, or run this through a 5-inch trap when I'm in my canoe, so I can stack them up.
Gotcha. Well, that's really interesting. So that covers our body grip traps and the colony traps. Is there an option for a foothold these days on the muskrats too?
Absolutely. You can go to any trapper's meeting or trapper's rendezvous, and you can probably find some good used traps for next to nothing. And most of those are going to be foothold traps, maybe number 1 jumps or number 1 long springs. This is a 1.5 coil spring.
Okay.
And the thing that I like about this 1.5 coil spring is you can not only catch muskrat, but it will also work very effectively for mink, for raccoon, for fox, and fisher.
That's right. I forgot all about it. But that's actually, I believe, that's what we caught that mink in last year with my kid brother.
That's right.
Yeah, excellent.
The thing that I don't love about footholds, though, especially in our area of Maine, is you need to check these traps every 24 hours. Doesn't matter what your work schedule is. Doesn't matter what the weather is. You have to look at them every 24 hours and take every catch out that you have. So for me, it works a little bit better to set most of my line with these 110 body grip traps and know that I have 3 days to check these.
Good idea. That's really interesting.
Alright, first check of the season. We're out in the bog, and we got a triple. There's a rat here, a rat there, and a rat right down there. And it would have been a quad, but that trap got snapped off. So I'll take the triple though. Nice run sets. It's been a little tough going this morning. It's been super cold the last couple days, but this is what we're after right here. Some nice muskrats. The fur market's been pretty high, and the rats are pretty plentiful, so we're out here having some fun trying to catch a couple. We're out in the weeds. They like these cattails, and there's pretty obvious runs in here, and so we're making blind sets, no lure or bait or anything like that, just where we know that the rats are going to travel. And they've been sitting since Sunday morning at about 1 o'clock. Came in here, there was snow flurries and driving wind. It was a little tough going, and it was pretty cold, but it was worth it. It was a lot of fun. So we're going to get these guys out of the traps and see if we can find some more. That one needed to go on a diet.
Huh.
Who's back? Eating rice and cattails. Hey, I got a little present for you. It's a dead rat. Oh, these 110s get the job done real quick. And they don't even move once they get wrapped around one of those things. A lot of people use #1 long springs or stop loss traps, and those are good traps too. The problem for me is you have to check those #1 long springs or any other foothold type trap every day, whereas with a body grip trap, you can check them every 72 hours or every 3 days. So it allows some flexibility. Then if the weather is bad or you have to go into work or whatever, you don't have to worry about being out every day. I don't usually like to let them go the full 3 days. In case you catch something on the first night, I'd like to get it as soon as possible. That helps keep that fur quality nice and high. But getting out in here and checking out the traps, having some fun, enjoying what the Lord's created, beautiful bogs. I love it. There's no other place that I'd rather be. Hey, got a little present for you. It's a dead rat. Alright, let's see what these next ones do.
Sometimes you'll be out in the bog and there will be feed beds and houses, but no obvious places to set your traps. That's when you should look in the mud for runs where the muskrats are traveling. Place your traps in those runs, and those will pay off dividends.
all set back. There's not a lot of feed beds. You can find in the mud where they're at. All the weeds, this rice or bulrush or whatever this is, it's all parted. And you can see well-defined channels. And that's where the muskrats are traveling. If you can find those spots and key your traps in on that, you're going to do okay. Let's see what we got in this next one over here. I think the stake is falling over, so that might be a good sign. Is that a colony trap? It's a colony trap. Oh yeah. Can't tell what's going on here. Oh, fill my gloves up. Got my special dishwasher today. I hate those shoulder-length gauntlets. They're really clumsy. Oh, this feels heavy. There's something going on in here. Oh, there's a couple of rats. And some mud. I think I gotta... Oh, hey, there's... Can't tell if there's 3 or 4 muskrats. Let's wash this out. Looks like 3. Alright. See, that, my friends, is why I like to use colony traps. So with 110s, you catch them one at a time. But here in Maine, we can use them up to 7 inches by 7 inches by 36 inches long. Sometimes you can catch multiples. So like I said, when you've got those well-defined mud trails, you can really stack the rats up. Joe, I can smell that muskrat smell. Mm-hmm. I love it. I think it's a fine mix of mud, and muskrat lure. And mud.
Top of the line there. Best office smell I've ever heard.
Right? I get it. I love muskrats. Hey, we're doing alright, bud.
So one of the things that I like about being outdoors is really trying to share that with the next generation. Obviously, we both are well aware of the fact that not as many hunting licenses are being sold every year. That's a real disappointment for me. One of the things that I really like about muskrat trapping, though, is the fact that it's great because it's low activity, scent's not a problem, noise isn't much of a problem.
That's right.
So tell me a little bit more about how we can go ahead and get kids involved in this situation, And what's your opinion? Do you think muskrat trapping is a good place to start them out?
That's where I would advise anybody to start out, is trapping a muskrat.
Okay.
I have 3 young daughters, and my older 2 are old enough to come out on the trap line with me. And I'll let them come out and ride along, and every once in a while they'll point out a spot where they think a muskrat might go, and so we'll set a trap there. Sometimes we catch something, sometimes we don't.
Yeah, I'm sure those are interesting spots.
Yeah, absolutely. But my girls absolutely love it. They love to just get out there, and you got to make it fun. You got to make it fun, and don't try to take them too far out into the willy wags. I trap, sometimes by the road. I don't bother taking them out in the canoe. But I want to make it interesting for them, and then we get to talk about the animal, about the attributes of the animal, how it's furry, or what kind of fur it has, or what kind of tail or claws it has, and I think that's important for a kid to understand that.
Now that you're bringing that up and we're talking about bringing your girls out, the reality of trapping is that an animal has to expire.
Yeah.
And that leads me back to the foothold trap. And this being a great experience for the kids, I really like the idea of a body trap.
That's right.
The idea of the colony trap. When you get there to the animal, it's already expired.
Yep.
You get to break them into the process a little bit easier and maybe explain it to them in person in front of the animal after it's expired. So that way they don't, you're not dropping the shock load on them all at once.
Exactly.
That's a really great idea.
So take a look at these next clips with the kids out on the trap line.
Hey, Jubilee.
Chicken traps,
Yeah? What are we going to catch?
minks and muskrats.
Minks and muskrats, that's right. You think we caught anything?
Yeah,
What do you think we got?
a mink.
A mink? I don't know. We'll see. He's going to reach in and grab it, okay? We're going to see if we got anything.
I got a mink.
That's a muskrat.
We got a first muskrat.
Yeah.
Good thing we got a muskrat. It's big.
Do you want to hold him?
It's hard. It's heavy.
You can let him go.
Okay. He's in the water now.
He's in the water now, huh? You think we're going to have a mink?
Whoa, look at that.
What is that? You think it's a mink, huh? I don't know if it's a mink or not. Let's check it. Another muskrat. Yeah. Yep, I'm gonna stand you up on the grass, okay?
Okay, so I can hold it.
Yep. You okay?
I'll just stand right here.
You can stand right there. Be careful, okay? You wanna hold him? What do you got there, Jubilee?
Muskrat.
You like it?
Yeah.
Is he furry?
Yeah.
Soft? What do you think about his claws?
Scrapey.
Scrapey. You like trapping with Dad?
Yeah.
Good. You wanna come again sometime?
Yeah.
Looks like you're getting cold. We'll probably head home pretty soon, okay? All right. You think we're gonna catch anything?
Yeah.
What do you think we're gonna catch?
8 muskrats and 1 mink.
8 muskrats and 1 mink. Well, I think you're a little more optimistic than Daddy is. But I think we're gonna catch something. We got a couple of traps right in front of us. I think there's something. Should we check them out?
Yep.
Yeah? Okay, here we go.
I'm watching you, Daddy.
Okay.
Right in there.
What do you think that is?
It's a little better. It's good.
All right. So here's one.
Okay. 1. First of the day.
First of the day, that's right. You hear the geese coming?
Huh?
All right, so there's number 1. This has been a pretty good spot this year, Josephine.
Yep. It
Oh,
has.
my foot is stuck. There we go.
That's funny.
Here's another one. Another rat in it. Pretty good, huh?
Woohoo! Second of the day.
Second of the day. Need some help getting down?
I think I will.
You think you will? Okay, let me get down first and then I'll help you down, okay? What's that right there?
Another one.
Another muskrat. Kefa. Good work.
We're on to 3 muskrats.
We are on to 3. That's kind of surprising. I caught a piece of wood with him too.
Maybe he was picking his teeth. What do you think?
I think he was pecking them.
So we're here at a spot where the rain has really flushed up a lot. It's a cement culvert, and the water is just roaring through there. And so we came in and made a set on the edge of this bridge wall. There was a little sort of stone pocket that we kind of created here. And the trap was right there. So I don't see the trap. Let's see what we can find. We've got a muskrat. Not bad. Not bad. So we just checked the other side of this bridge, and we made a catch over there. And so now we're checking the opposite side. And we had a 1.5 coil spring sitting right there in kind of the similar fashion at the edge of this bridge wall. And I think we've made another catch as well. There it comes. It's another rat. One rat on each side of the bridge, not bad. I think my good luck charm is helping me out today. So here we've got a really tiny culvert, a stone culvert that goes right under the road. I made a 110 bottom edge set here before the big rain. And you can see there, we connected with a muskrat. And the key to the bottom edge sets is to find the straight point of where the culvert is, and then if there's a little rock that jets out, to set on that point of the rock. I don't know if it's going to be extremely visible with this camera or not, but there is a little bit of a rock bump right there. So I put my 110 right on the bottom. You can run those bottom edge sets anywhere from 6 inches underwater to a couple of feet underwater.
Here's another look at the same bottom edge set. You can see towards the center of the screen where the rock jets out. That's where you want to stabilize your trap, because that's where the muskrats will be hugging as they move.
So we just had a big rainstorm. A lot of traps are really underwater. This one went down pretty quick, so we got a couple of catches here. If I can not fill up my waders while checking these, we'll be in good shape.
Pay close attention to where the grass splits there. That's where the muskrats are traveling. Place your traps in the center of those trails. You're sure to make catches that way. Here's a closer look at some 110s on stabilizers in that travel way. And here are the results.
There's a rat. There's another. This is just a very tiny trickle that has a little bait pond over on the other side. Caught a mink in here the other day, and a rat the day before that. So we're doing okay. Just a little 110 on a stand. I'll show you the finished set when it's all done. Alright, we're in a spot here that can be a little bit hard to trap. It's the big cement bridges like we're used to seeing, but the water is so deep, so quick off of those, that there's no real great spot for a set. So I came back and started looking around for other areas where I can make a set. And before our big rain, right here under this tree looked very minky to me. So I set a 110 on there on a stand like usual, and today we have a catch.
Here's a look from a mink's point of view. Any little hole in the mink is sure to grab their attention. Make sure to guard that with a trap.
A lot of times these culverts can be kind of hard to set, trying to figure out where to place your trap. Over here is a little bit too deep of water to make an effective set, but over here is alright. You can see where this mink was traveling up against the side of the culvert, and we had a little pinch spot right there, and there's our mink. Today has not been the luckiest day of them all. We've caught no muskrat and no mink, but a...
Almost. I can pretty much almost, it kind of blends in with your pants.
Kind of blends in. Okay, hold on. Hold that nice and still.
There he is.
See him in there?
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful. It's a nice otter.
Can we hold it?
You can touch it.
Well, Christian, thanks a lot for sharing that with us. I know that I enjoyed it. I'm sure the viewers enjoyed watching the girls out there. It's pretty cool seeing them get involved like that, especially at their age.
That's right.
You know, that's really awesome. Well, guys, next week we've got another excellent episode coming up, so stay tuned. Between now and then, I'm James Collins.
And I'm Christian Carlson.
And thank you very much for watching another excellent episode of Trident Outdoors.